Gowdy said Comey did generational damage to FBI. Brennan is allergic to the truth. Trey Gowdy is absolutely correct. What Comey did to the FBI, I mean, it's going to be a scar on the FBI's name for a long, long time because they spied on a presidential candidate. He released he basically let Hillary Clinton get away with the whole Russia collusion hoax thing. She was the main one behind it. So they let her get away with the having emails on a private server. If it was any other American citizen, they would have been thrown in prison for that. She got away with that. I mean, Comey is a despicable person. Y'all know I've been saying that about him for years. And then John Brennan, he just comes on mainstream media and just lies and lies and lies and lies, and no one checks him on it. It's ridiculous. But we're going to play the clip and hear what Gowdy has to say about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news now. This comes from Breitbart, and they report that Thursday on Fox News Channel Special Report, network host Trey Gowdy, a former South Carolina Republican congressman and House Oversight Committee chairman, said former FBI CIA Director John Brennan is allergic to the truth, and former FBI Director James Comey did generational damage to the agency. Let's just get right to the clip. Here we go.
It was all effort of total distraction and to make it look like Russia was playing a very major role in helping Trump to be elected.
I have testified repeatedly over the years consistently about what we did to expose Russian interference in the 2016 election.
Senator Grassley releasing that Durham Annex, putting out this statement. The Durham Annex describes that in July 2016, the FBI received additional intelligence regarding a possible Clinton campaign plan, including documents with purported emails allegedly sent by Leonard Bernardo, senior vice president of Soros's Open Society Foundations. The intelligence included data providing specificity on the plan and the attempt to smear then-candidate Donald Trump by falsely linking him to Russia. We're going to bring in the panel early. Trey Gowdy, former congressman from South Carolina, host of the Sunday Night in America with Trey Gowdy, and Fox News contributors Leslie Marshall and Byron York. Byron, there are a lot of pieces that come out in this, and we piece them together. We do stories on them. They don't break through in a lot of other places. But if you're at the whiteboard and you're looking at what came out today, why is it important, and what does it tell us?
Well, I think it's important because it shows the degree to which the Clinton campaign played an important role in creating this whole Trump-Russia narrative. Not only that Russia tried to meddle in the U.S. election, but that it did so to help Donald Trump win the presidency. And it really focuses on a few days in July of 2016, July 22nd. It was the Friday before the Democratic convention was going to start on Monday. That's when the hacked emails are published. They're embarrassing to a lot of Democrats. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, chairman of the party, has to resign. On Sunday, Robbie Moog, the campaign manager for Hillary Clinton, goes on the Sunday shows and says, Russia did this, not that unusual, and then he said, Russia did it to help Donald Trump win the presidency. That was unusual. New York Times actually writes a story about it saying the Clinton campaign is going to make this a theme of their campaign going forward. And what we see is in the next couple of days after that, July 25th, July 27th, there are these letters between somebody at the George Soros Foundation, all those Republicans who think Soros is a big villain, well, they'll be confirmed in this one, talking to members of the Hillary Clinton campaign about whether this is going to be a big deal going forward.
Yeah. Leslie, pieces of this come out, and I know Democrats say, it's all to take the focus away from the Epstein documents, all of that. But if you look at, to Byron's point, to July 27th, 2016, from Leonard Bernardo in the Durham Annex, it says, HRC approved Julia's idea about Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections. That should distract people from her own missing email. I mean, some of these things just hit you in the face. And at some point, somebody has to say something.
Yeah, but here's the problem. A lot was said in the intel reports between 2017 and 2020. And specifically, they said that there was, in fact, Russian interference and that it was aimed specifically at damaging Clinton and boosting Trump. And by the way, there's video, numerous pieces of video of the president, President Trump, saying that, not to boost her and to boost him and to damage her, but that there was Russian interference. We then have the Durham investigation. What were his findings? FBI didn't handle this right. They botched things up. Does not recommend anybody be, handcuffed and, arrested. And if that's the case where we're at, if we're taking what Tulsi Gabbard and other people on the right are saying, the inference they're making, the allegations that they're making, specifically about Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, I don't see the handcuffs here. We don't have a definitive amount of evidence. We have a lot of things that are redacted, and then we have testimony, and then we have people with, first names and no last names, and we have no judicial proceedings on this. Let's bring it to the court if this is the case.
But this is classified stuff, Trey. So they are declassifying it, including this annex that came out, and they are revealing it from a classified place that no one would have ever seen it.
Yeah, some of us who wrote that 2017 report certainly would have liked to have had that. In fact, Brett, we would have liked it so much, we actually asked the FBI for it. Devin Nunes sent a subpoena to the FBI. The one name that has not come up tonight so far is Chris Wray. We did not go from Jim Comey to Kash Patel. We had an FBI director named Chris Wray, and Congress repeatedly asked him for all the information you have on the Hillary Clinton email investigation and the Russia investigation. And what Durham put in his annex and what Kash Patel found in those burn bags, Chris Wray never bothered to turn over to Congress. So yes, those reports may be missing something because the FBI aided and abetted the DNC. The fact that Jim Comey wanted Hillary Clinton to win the White House, I'm telling you, Brett, he has done generational damage to the Bureau.
All right, here is Congressman Trey Gowdy, May 2017. Take a listen.
Did you have evidence of a connection between the Trump campaign and Russian state actors?
As I said, Mr. Gowdy, I don't do evidence. And we were uncovering information and intelligence about interactions and contacts between U.S. persons and the Russians. And as we came upon that, we would share it with the Bureau.
Different haircut, but same pointed questions. Trey?
Yeah, and unfortunately for Brennan, the same allergy to the truth that he has now. He is allergic to the truth. He lied in that part of his testimony, and he lied about whether or not the dossier was used in court filings. The statute's wrong, but to Leslie's point, handcuffs are not the only way we mete out accountability in this culture. There's shame, there's history. It's not just prison. There are other ways we mete out accountability, and the fact that somebody's not wearing handcuffs does not, to me, think that what they did is okay, because it wasn't.
Byron, last word on this. You guys are going to come back later in the show, a couple other topics, but it is piecing together some of these things.
Absolutely. And the thing that I wanted to know more after reading the Durham Annex is what's going on with the FBI at that period in July that I was talking about earlier. Remember, just a few weeks earlier on July 4th, James Comey had come out and given Hillary Clinton a get-out-of-jail-free card on the email matter. He basically spoke a long time about why he thought she was guilty, and then at the end said, and by the way, we're not going to charge her with anything. And you want to know, once the Clinton campaign settles on this Russia strategy, are there connections? Are there communications? What's going on with the FBI? By the way, we know the Clinton campaign funded the dossier. We know the FBI liked the dossier. They hired Christopher Steele over it. So when are they connected, and what are those connections?
Yeah. The reason we put the panel up here is because a lot of people say, things just go out into the ether and never get resolved. We're going to dig into this. We're going to dig into other items, and we're going to talk about other things later in the show. Panel, thanks so much.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, I agree with everything Trey Gowdy said. I, he says more to accountability than just people in handcuffs. He's right about that, but I want to see some handcuffs because it seems like the left just continue to erode the Constitution. They continue to break laws and break rules and stuff like that and get away with it. I would love to see at least one of them be put in handcuffs. I'm talking about like the Comeys or the Brennans or the Hillarys or someone, because it's not right what they've been doing. And like I said, they're going to continue to do this unless someone get held accountable for this. That's the only way we can stop this government corruption that's been going on um, uh, under the Democrats' rule. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.